Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Musa Jallo, and in today's video, we're gonna be reacting to a video by the B1m, and the video is entitled New York Most Hated Highways Falling Apart. So with no further delay, let's get into the video.
Ask any New York driver which highway they hate the most, and you'll probably get the same answer.
The BQE is one of the busiest roadways in all the 5 boroughs. It's also in some of the worst shape.
Leaky, rusty, and literally falling apart.
More than 130,000 vehicles navigate the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway's narrow lane.
30,000 vehicles, that's like a really crazy amount,
And countless potholes every day.
Though. Oh my god. Imagine like from 1 to 100 and then like 1,000, 100,000. Oh my, that's a lot of vehicles actually.
Despite its terrible reputation, the BQE is actually Brooklyn's only interstate highway, and after years of harsh weather and increasing traffic, sections of it are crumbling.
The worst consequence, and I don't even want to think about it, is that we have some kind of collapse or some kind of true disaster.
While most of us have probably never heard of it, this road is a big deal for New York. If it shuts down, the next best option is for hundreds of thousands of vehicles to drive through narrow residential streets to get to where they need to be. Not exactly great in one of the world's biggest cities. Over the years, temporary
New York is like it's so nice there.
Now New York is racing to fix one of its most important arteries. When you think New York,
Like, oh my, it's really so nice, I feel like it's like so dense, a lot of things happening in like a really tight space,
York, you'll probably think of its skyscrapers and then quite possibly its public transit system. But its roadways are just as important. Americans love their cars, and these routes help transport millions of goods, services and people in and out of the 5 boroughs every day. Some of those roads are now nearly 100 years old.
Actually, since I started to learn about the US and like New York in general, I feel like that's one of the problems. I feel like they really have to say like most of the infrastructure is like really so old. It needs updating, like the public infrastructure. So it's like I'm kind of like not so surprised to see like one of the major highway is like in like a really bad shape,
Seemingly in a constant state of repair. Much of the city's aging transportation system can be attributed to a guy called Robert Moses. He was a famed, if at times controversial, city planner. Throughout the early 1900s, Moses helped design many bridges, parks and roads across New York. One highway he proposed would connect Brooklyn and Queens to help alleviate traffic on the borough's local streets. At first, he suggested a route that would cut right through Brooklyn, but that was shot down. So he changed the route to run along the waterfront, and in 1937, construction of the BQE began. By the time the highway was completed in 1964, construction costs had reached $137 million US. The BQE became one of the first roadways to accommodate both commercial trucks and commuters. Today, it's pretty much critical for the city and especially for the freight that it relies on.
That is like so crazy that you have just one road that is like that important, So like if there is an accident, imagine the people walking in a restaurant, you order for fresh fish or your fresh produce, but then like guess what, the road is closed today, So what are you gonna do, It's actually crazy,
But after years of wear and tear and illegally overweight trucks, much of the road is beginning to disintegrate. And more specifically, the city-owned 2.4-kilometre section known as BQE Central. This part includes the triple cantilever, which is sadly in the worst shape of all. The steel inside the concrete is corroding thanks to excessive road salt and water infiltration. Steelwork in the 1950s didn't have any protective coatings. Now, that's obviously a big problem, and engineers are calling for immediate repair. Well, we say immediate. A report from 2016, yes, a report from back in 2016, found that if nothing was done, the city would need to restrict all trucks on the road by 2026.
That is like crazy. Like, this is gonna sound stupid, but like one thing that I like from country like China, that is like a dictatorship or something like that, it's like the speed at which they do things, And most of the time it's not good because they don't like really do like the due diligence, to like really check things properly. They just like make things happen that fast. But also like on the other hand, like imagine you made a report from 2016, there was a problem, and like according to the report from 2016, in 2026 you will have to like restrict like big trucks from like using the road. But now we're like almost like 3 years away, but still nothing have been done. So like that just feels so crazy to me. You should do your due diligence, but it shouldn't be that slow also. Actually, that's one thing I really like about Norway. They're always working, they're always updating things. And but of course now it's like a really small country also, so you cannot compare to the US, but they are always working, they're always making things better. And even if it's not broken, they try to fix it before it get broken. Sometimes it's annoying, but it's actually a really good thing.
So, city planners and politicians have been sort of racing to put ideas forward to fix it. They've pitched a temporary highway, a road closure, a new tunnel, extensive waterproofing, and even totally demolishing the whole thing. But coming up with a plan that makes everyone happy in New York is next to
You see, that's exactly the problem. You cannot like satisfy everybody. Like as much as some people just have the lose and some people have the win. Like that's just the way it is. For the greater good of everybody. Once the people who plan the project, they have like everybody's best interest in mind. In my opinion, some people have to lose and some people have to win.
Mayor Adams' new accelerated plan is set to start in 2023, and it should be cheaper and faster than the previous ideas. It focuses on the critical city-owned section between Atlantic Avenue and Sand Street.
City Hall, along with New York City Department of Transportation, has started a community engagement process to try to understand the needs and the desires of communities all along the corridor.
Of course, there's still a long way to go before everyone's on board, and disagreements could hold things up. Ongoing community meetings will continue for the next couple of years, along with the design process, until official construction work starts in 2026.
That is like so crazy though. Like it's so crazy. Imagine if like the bridge come to the point where it cannot be used anymore. Then like in that case, like there is no point of you like waiting in a way. But I don't know. Oh my god, it's crazy.
Meanwhile, interim repairs will ensure the BQE's immediate safety. The cantilever needs the most emergency fixes, and on the Queensbound deck, the concrete and rebar are being replaced. Here, workers will remove the deteriorated concrete, then new steel plates are going to be added for reinforcement. That means overnight lane closures on parts of the highway across a few weekends in 2023. Traffic is due to be rerouted through local streets, and other modes of transportation are encouraged.
I'm sure, without a doubt, there will be some traffic issues, there will be some snarls, there will be some inconvenience to the impacted neighborhoods. And I don't mean to minimize that, but at the same time, I think that most people would agree that it's really important to keep the roadway as safe as possible. And
That is like exactly my point, because like everybody's not gonna be happy. So like sometimes it's best you just do it like as fast as possible, get it out of the way and be done with it, and then people go back to their normal lives.
if these are repairs that will ensure that people are safe, they need to happen. And unfortunately, there will be some inconvenience involved. But I'm hopeful that they have had enough lead time to develop a plan that will mitigate, certainly won't be able to do away with all the impacts, but that will mitigate the impacts as best as possible.
It's safe to say that repairing the BQE is no longer a future problem. It needs to happen now. Without this construction project, many of the people and freight movements that make New York City run will be badly affected.
Imagine what that could do to the economy. That could be like really so damaging. Because like New York have a pretty big economy. Like so like if something like that happened, that would be like really so damaging to the economy. But like I don't know. It feels kind of sad, like it's such a beautiful city, but also like this have like all this infrastructure problem, and it feels kind of sad, because like I see it as one of the best city in the world. If I'm being honest, I feel like there is other city that is like more better to live in than New York, but mix of the culture, the architecture, like how the city feel, the diversity, So that's why I feel like it is the best city for me. But then if I see like it have all this kind of a problem also when it comes to infrastructure, affordable housing, and stuff like that, it makes me feel kind of a sad, like, but it is what it is, But it's such a nice place actually.
Some community members are hopeful about the future of the highway.
One of the plans that I think people in our community have been excited about is the BQP, the Brooklyn Queens Park plan. What's exciting about it, I think, for people is that it creates tunnels and covers over the cantilever.
Okay, this is really nice now. It's like really, really so nice, You make like a tunnel and then like you make park on top the road. I feel like it's for me. If I was the one choosing, I would choose this plan, because I feel like it's like the best use of space, like I live in Norway. There is so many tunnels there, like we have a lot of tunnels in Norway. So like tunnels, I really like them, But it sucks when there is traffic in the tunnel, But it doesn't happen often, But yeah.
BQE is, of course, just one of many US highways in need of repair, but it powerfully personifies how critical these seemingly simple pieces of infrastructure are to our lives. Fixing this highway underlines the essential nature of construction and creates an opportunity to think more imaginatively about how this industry can reshape our world for the better.
I really like to see a video like this, even though I feel like New York is like so amazing, but also this video showed me like the problem the city have, So like not everything is perfect, So in a way, like you can see like if you come to New York, what are you gonna be missing and what you're gonna have, So I feel like overall, I feel like it's a really, really good video to like balance my perspective of New York City in a way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, remember to like it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.